Hello and welcome to the Wormhole. My name is Jamie Burchell. This is our podcast series called Wormhole Pinball Presents. You can watch and or hear this anywhere you can get podcasts or on our YouTube channel. I'm here with Erin Winick Anthony. Erin is a social media creator. I wrote this all down. Competitive pinball player, pinball commentator. I can go on and on. Welcome to the Wormhole, Erin.
Thank you. Good to be here once again.
Oh, this is exciting. We love having you here. And I just thought once I started this series, Wormhole Pinball Presents, I said, well, this has to happen.
Oh, I love it. Thanks for having me. It's going to be fun.
If there's going to be sound in the background, it's because we've got the Labyrinth Barrels of Fun tonight.
Yes, big day. So you have to watch the stream from that after you listen to this, because I'm sure
so this will go up probably tomorrow.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, this will go up tomorrow, so you would have already watched our Labyrinth Barrels of Fun stream.
Cool.
All right, let's start with your STEM career. I learned what STEM was recently.
Yeah.
Science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
You got it. Yep.
So pretty cool. How did you get from the University of Florida to NASA?
Yeah, so I got a mechanical engineering degree, University of Florida.
Okay.
I did that because I'm someone who always loved making stuff. It was, I made my Halloween costumes for Goldberg machines around my parents' bed, everything,
so
all around their house.
You don't hear Ruth Goldberg. What was his name? Goldberg machines. Those are neat.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
So I've always made stuff, and I wanted to try to find a way to channel that in whatever I did. But I also really loved journalism. So I was really torn between the two paths. When I graduated, I kind of found a way to combine the two. And so I worked for 2 years up at in Boston at MIT Technology Review as a journalist there.
Wow.
And then came down here for a job at NASA here in Houston. Worked there for 4 years as a senior science communicator for the International Space Station, which basically means I was a storyteller of all the science on the International Space Station. So combining that technical background with those communications.
I was going to ask you, what project while you were at NASA kind of sticks out? Do you have any?
Yeah.
You have probably so many, but can you narrow it to one or two maybe?
Totally. I say the two or one. Right when I got there, I got to work on a short-form documentary series called NASA Explorers that we followed two women scientists from having an idea about an experiment to launching it and getting results from the International Space Station over the course of 2 years, because science takes time.
Yeah.
And then the other was I worked on a project called the Benefits for Humanity Project, which was sharing all the ways that science conducted on the International Space Station helps us back here on Earth. And that was a big thing for helping extend the space station to 2030 and keep it up there and keep it funded.
That's awesome. I have so many questions about that, but they're
Sure.
later on. I
Yeah.
mean, so you left NASA a few months ago to start your own social media creation firm, really.
Yeah.
In fact, you're working with Houston's own Barrels of Fun.
I am, yeah. I didn't expect pinball to be a part of that company, but it ended up happening just from being a part of this community now for a year and a half. And yeah, it's super, super fun.
How has that been?
Really cool. I mean, I've loved just being able to see behind the scenes at a pinball company, because, there's what you see from the outside in social media, then what these people are actually talking about on a day-to-day basis. What are they actually doing with their hands? What does it take to launch a pinball machine? So I've loved just being able to be a little bit involved and just a spectator to a lot of those conversations. So,
yeah, just so crazy how you got involved with that. I love that story. You've heard it here before. I'll give you, So Erin came to the Wormhole and just started hanging out with us and really helping us with our social media and really helping Donovan and really things started taking off for us. What really took off is a web series that you have.
Yes.
Called, both on TikTok and Reels, called Learning to Flip.
Yes.
Where you kind of take viewers through your pinball journey. How did you come up with Learning to Flip? Where did you see that there was a need? Dance, baby, dance.
Yeah, Dance Magic Dance. Yeah.
Dance Magic Dance. I love that part of this. So how did that come about?
Yeah, so I've been like a social media content creator for a little while, but I mainly make science and space stuff, and so I was kind of looking for something different to make. So I love doing that, but I wanted to try to share another part of my life aside from the science, mechanical engineering Erin. And I see so many people that are experts in a thing and only are willing to start sharing once they're an expert in the thing. And I feel like as someone who was starting to consume pinball content for the first time, some of it didn't seem very accessible. People were saying terms I had no idea what they were, and it was just always starting up here, assuming I knew every machine that's ever been made. And so I wanted to try to make this as first of all, an accessible point for all the people that already follow me for science and space stuff who aren't going to be experts in pinball, and then be able to kind of have a different type of content out there and be able to just relate to people in a different way without having to be, I know everything as I'm sharing about pinball.
I mean, if you haven't watched it, you really do need to go and just learning to flip. Go on YouTube. You can go on your channel, and we cross-promote it on the Wormhole channel.
On YouTube, it's just on the Wormhole, and then everywhere else we often cross-share it on all of the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
It really is great. We'll talk about it more a little later because you have a new addition to your house, so we want to talk about that.
Yes.
But and I loved the learning to flip on it, and it was really, really cool. So guide me through your process of deciding what type of video you want to make, whether it's learning to flip or with your STEM. Guide me through, like, how does this idea come from germination to completion? How does this happen?
Yeah, so I also do a lot of content creation for other people. So stuff that I don't necessarily, credit or have my name on, but I'm helping guide a lot of other engineering science firms, places like that with their writing and social media. So my personal accounts are what inspires me. I don't want to be too formulaic in it. I want to kind of chase that interest and that passion that I have at the time. So yes, I have an entire notebook full of video ideas of things that I can go to at any time, but oftentimes it's the thing that's inspiring me that week. I get an idea. Sometimes I'll batch film content and stuff too, so I'll do like a bunch at once. If you see me have a lot of content one week, it's because I probably filmed it all on a Sunday or something beforehand. But usually it's something I learned in science or space and I'm just really excited about. I also consume a lot of like TikTok and Instagram content, so trying to find ways to use, say, a TikTok trend.
Do you like write it down? Do you...
Yeah, I write it down. I have that big notebook that I write them all down, and then a to-do list that I have for the ones I like top of my list at the time.
So cool.
And then if I feel I'm more inspired, I'll write scripts out for them too. So I have like a Google Doc of scripts to film and stuff, and then I'll sit down and I have like a little filming area in my house to be able to go film them all.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm always fascinated. I'm fascinated with that. That's why I asked it. But I mean, I'm just... So you started your pinball journey, your pinball playing journey at Game Preserve NASA.
Well, I'll say my first tournament ever was here, I will say, but I practiced a lot at Game Preserve NASA before I came here.
So you drive by it, you live down in the southern area.
Yeah.
What made you just pull up and go to the Game Preserve?
So when a little while ago, I had just gone there with my parents and stuff when they were in town. So I was like, what's something my parents will also like doing with me? And it was just a fun thing to go do. And, as we were coming out of COVID a little bit, both my husband and I had moved to Houston right before COVID. And we didn't really have communities. And we both were kind of looking, okay, we want a hobby that's going to get us out of the house and that we can both pursue. So he picked hockey. I picked pinball. Now he's here today and I've gone ice skating. So we crossed over a little bit.
Of course.
But I kind of just took it from there. I was like, this is something I can have fun doing by myself and with other people. Yeah. I love something I can just pop my headphones on and go play pinball for 3 hours and not talk to anyone. And I also love it as a social aspect and meeting people and getting out and competing. And it's also fun to have that competitive outlet and a fun competitive outlet. So that was kind of the thing. I was just like, this feels like a good fit for me.
So talk about Bells and Chimes. You're actively involved in Bells. In fact, you stream a lot of that. I mean, what a great organization Bells and Chimes is. And thank you. Shout out to Elizabeth Tronet and Raleigh and Palace and everyone that does such a great job here in Houston.
Yeah.
I love Bells and Chimes.
Me too. And, funnily enough, the reason I originally found out about it is because when I was in Boston, I had joined the Bells and Chimes Boston Facebook group before I moved here. But I never went out to anything. And I didn't get involved in the community, but it was like on my radar of like, okay, there's a cool network of women out here that are interested in this thing. Looked it up here. Saw that they had one here too, and there's such a great community, not just in Houston too, but San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, all the women that drive around and support each other and come to all these tournaments. And they're just fantastic. I've loved being able to do commentary for it, to just give some more attention to it and stream them, because there's some incredible players that sometimes maybe don't make it to the top 4 to make it into finals, but absolutely worth, getting on stream and being able to see.
So your husband and your friend Brendan came here today to talk about the second rig, right? Yes. That we're trying to build here.
The mythical second rig.
It is mythical, but we're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
We want to build a second rig. And one of the reasons I want to build a second rig is I want that second rig on people that normally don't get streamed.
Yes, that would be
so
great.
That you can have, your A group. You can follow your A group, and then I could put in maybe people that snuck in that normally never get to be streamed. And I would just love it. And then especially for the Bells and Chimes, if they go top 8, I could have 2 streams going for you.
Love it. Yes, because Bells and Chimes, we often always do smaller finals amounts too. Elizabeth Journey is a big fan of top 4 or top 8, so it's always a little bit slimmer, even harder to make those finals there. But.
So let's geek out about commentating because
sure.
I love it. It's, besides this podcast, which I'm really kind of geeking on, I really love commentating.
It's fun.
And so I think I kind of share this process, this passion with you about commentating by having you come sit next to me. What do you like about it? What kind of made you gravitate towards commentating?
Yeah, I think the original thing was I do a decent amount being on camera in the rest of my life, but I don't do a lot of unscripted stuff. I'm very much, often it's written down, I say the thing, I deliver it to camera. And sometimes I'll be interviewing, and those are the things I'm very used to because I have a journalism background.
Right.
So I often am the one that have questions like you do with a paper here and like guide the conversation. That's what I'm used to. So it was a fun new thing to be able to do with it. And for me, as someone who's learning, I can ask the questions that maybe everyone else here already knows, can spark conversation like that. And so I've really enjoyed being able to learn by being in the commentators booth. I feel like I've learned these games so much faster than I would have otherwise.
Right?
Just having, Wesley and Jack and everyone sit here and talk about all the things you do on it. Oh my gosh, it's helped me get better so much faster.
I know I talk too much during commentating, but I do try to stay out of their way when they are really talking about.
Both are important. I feel like you want that important information, but you also need the person that can come in and ask the questions, change up the flow, provide the storytelling aspect. So I think both are important.
I really like it. Real quick, I used to commentate. I used to be the announcer for my kids' lacrosse team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And I went from podcast to doing that, and then I was like, this scratches another itch for me. It gives me this opportunity, and now this is kind of a good blend of all worlds.
Absolutely, and I'll also add, too, I think there weren't a lot of Bells that wanted to step up and do some of the streaming, but now that I'm doing it, more of them are willing to hop on the mic and stuff like that.
I love it.
I'm happy to be able to kind of, hopefully, be able to pass it off and have some of them do that, too.
And I love the views that you're getting on the Bells and Chimes streams. I love... Because I look at all of that, right? Because I'm crazy, but it's just been phenomenal. And if you want to go back and watch on our YouTube VODs, you need to see the final. And Alice, really, it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, Interstellar Showdown, the most recent one. And
Thank you.
And then we had Space Camp was the one back in April, which was another really good one too.
Well, we're going to do Space Camp every year here, right?
Oh,
I think so.
I hope so.
I hope so too, because that was a great success.
Yeah, it was the three tournaments over the course of a weekend, all for women, and it was a really good size because we had like 40 women here for the whole weekend, which honestly I feel like that's a great size tournament for Wormhole. So
yeah, 40, 48 maybe.
Yeah, somewhere in that range.
We got into the 64 for Bayou Bashes and those. It's almost too many people, but we'll figure it out. We'll go from there.
Yeah,
so your second year of competitive pinball is wrapping up. How close were you to the top 24 before you have to go? I mean, you were going out of town, so you wouldn't play in it.
Well, so women's is a little bit different. There's 2 rankings that you get ranked in. One is your points in open. So all the open tournaments I go to, normal ones at, wormhole tournaments, and then there's women's specific tournaments. So the top 8 from each of those rankings make the women's finals.
I love that.
And so I'm like 12 at each of those, but the thing is, the top 8 is very similar for those, so there's a lot of overlap.
Oh, okay.
So I was going to make up the very, very bottom of that.
But you would have made it.
Yeah, but I likely would have made it. But hey, I got a goal for next year now, and I'm sad I won't be able to be here for it being at Wormhole.
Well, let's talk about why you won't be here.
Yes. Yeah, that's a big thing,
because I would love to Zoom with you while you're there.
We got to do it. Yes.
I'm skipping around here, but what are you doing in a couple of weeks? Where you're going? How did this come about? Talk to me.
Yeah, I think it's next Thursday, I am leaving for 2 months. I'm flying to Amsterdam, and then I'm going to be on a scientific research vessel for 2 months in the Mediterranean. Off the coast of Spain and Portugal. I'm going to be an onboard science communication officer doing live streams to museums and schools, sharing all of the science that's being conducted on board. This Expedition 401 on the JOIDES resolution. I'll be doing their social media, managing their website, all the communication stuff from on site. And I'm super excited for it. I've never done anything like this. I'm super into space, but you don't get to go to space, so you don't often get to be close to the science. I'm really excited to be with the 30 scientists who are on board and be there where all of this is happening.
I think it is so cool. wait to watch it and see what you post.
Uh-huh.
And I'm fascinated with that journey, how you're going to take it and what's going to happen. And I still think, we can do a tournament.
We need to.
While you're gone.
Find
even
an
if,
ocean-themed machine or something.
See, that's the problem.
Or
We need.
I downloaded some virtual ones on my Switch too. So maybe we can find one pinball machine I have on my Switch that you all have here or something. I can compete from a distance. We'll figure something out. Yeah.
I would love it. I think that's a hoot. So
yeah, the internet connection might not be up to your typical camera standards, but we'll make it work from out there. The shipped internet isn't incredible.
My camera standards are getting better.
Yes.
They weren't great. But we're working on it.
Yeah.
So you recently, let's shift gears. You recently bought your first pen.
Yes.
Talk me how that happened. And when I first met Chris Pallas, he goes, "How many pins do you have?" And I started going these terms. I said, "I don't have any pinball machines." And he started laughing. He goes, "Well, that'll change."
That'll change.
Now,
everyone told me the same thing too. Yes.
It is just an addiction. Now I'm very lucky that I have a friend named Tim Hood, so I don't have to buy it.
You
and
get
I
them
live
rotating
a minute.
through.
Yeah,
yes.
I get so. But talk about your first pen. You bought it at the Houston Arcade Expo. What's it called?
It's called Circa 1933. It is made in 1979, which is the most confusing thing to constantly have to explain to people. But yeah, it's a cocktail pinball machine. I bought it from Spence, another member of the community, and does amazing repairs at Game Preserve. I kind of just had in the back of my mind, I was just keeping things open. If something came on the market that I wanted to jump on, I wanted to get something that was on the cheaper end, but I didn't want to go EM. I was advised by Mike Flanagan, who lives near me, and I've gone to his house and he has repairs and stuff. Don't go EM. It's like for your first one. If you don't know how to repair a pinball machine, that's a little bit extreme to start on.
Okay.
So I went for early solid state to try to be able to have something that I can learn the basics of how a pinball machine works. And this one, it was $700 to be able to have this. It fits in my house. It's kind of an Art Deco theme, so it's not like I put a zombie from The Walking Dead in my living room to start out.
Right.
And my husband Alex also loves this type and era of machine, so it was a great fit. We had lessons learned in buying a first one already of having to transport it and figure all of that out. But but it's been super fun. We already love it.
That's a wormhole you're going to wind up going down because what I'm curious is, what is your dream theme? Like, this comes available, this machine. Let's do new and old. Let's do an old. This comes available. The price is right. You go to Alex and go. Is there one that that's on a to-do list?
That I really want. I really like Congo.
Yeah, so I love Congo. I can see it.
Yeah, and I play one at Game Preserve all the time. So I do have access to it, but it's not very well lit. And so I really want like a really well working Congo.
With the monk, the ape down below.
Yes.
Really well lit.
Exactly.
And that could be a really fun pin for you to fool around with, like with Pin Stadium light and whatever, an LED.
Exactly.
Make it a project.
So that's the one I want. The one I know Alex has his eye on to is Jurassic Park Data East. So he loves Data East machines from just what he's played so far. And Jurassic Park is he collects editions of the book. So we have a bunch of different versions of Jurassic Park with different covers on it at home. So it would just be like the perfect mix for him. So
Tim owns the Data East.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was here for a cup of coffee, but it's at Chris Lowe's house getting worked on, and so it's supposed to be back here.
Okay, he'll be here every time when that machine's here for sure.
It plays wonderfully. I went to Florida and picked that up. It's a long story. It's a debacle.
Yes, I think I've heard pieces of this before.
This is crazy, but we came back with 6 pins, and that was one of them.
That's awesome. So yeah, those are probably the two at the top of the list.
Okay, so what about there's not a lot of STEM pinball machines.
There's a lot of space.
There is a lot of space, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there an ideal theme? Obviously, Labyrinth is
very cool.
fantastic. But, we're here today to celebrate Labyrinth. But what about this machine comes out, you'd have to look at it.
So the theme I want more than anything is Avatar: The Last Airbender. I don't know if you're the Nickelodeon show.
Oh, yeah.
So there's, I feel like most machines, I'm not in the target age group for yet for most themes. There's some that match. I'm not the target necessarily gender or age demographics. I don't get a lot of the targets for it. But this one, I feel like once people my age group move up into the pinball buying territory, it's got to happen. It has a new Netflix show. Yes, new Netflix show coming out.
And why do I know this? Because I have children her age that were addicted to The Last Airbender.
Loved it. So my parents were super into it at the time too. So I mean, just there's all the different elements you can pick between, which one you want to be, and the whole world. I feel like there's so much potential there. So that's the one I think I would buy the instant it came out. Yeah.
I have everyone, always asks that question, like, what's your ideal theme?
Yeah.
I really want a band theme. One more band theme.
Okay.
And I want, what's Jack Black's band?
Tenacious D. Yeah. Uh-huh. That would be great too. If we're going bands, I don't know if you have it on there, but I listen to metal when I play pinball.
Yeah.
So I have like very niche metal bands that I'd want a machine from, but I don't think are gonna happen.
Alter Bridge? No, I'm joking.
Ice Nine Kills would probably be my top, or Brothers of Metal. So if we can get some of those out there.
How many do you think they would sell?
No, not too many.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That's fine.
What about a home brew?
There you go.
You could do that.
Future project. Yeah.
All right, let's geek about the wormhole before we're done, right?
Yeah, sure.
I love the story how you came to us. You just because in the beginning of the wormhole, and you could see if you're watching this, you'll see parts unknown in the upper left-hand corner because we don't really advertise where we are because it's only open 3 days a month and yada yada. But one day, when people show up randomly, I make it an account to come up and say, "Hi, I'm Jamie."
Yeah.
Who, in a nice way, who are you?
Why are you here?
Why are you here?
Yeah.
And then they said, well, I saw you on stream, or I saw this, or and I love when you came here. We were like, that is so cool.
I was basically, I've been playing at NASA by myself, and it was like, how to come out, and I was trying to just learn more about the community. And I watched streams on Twitch and stuff, and I saw you guys, and then you guys weren't advertising your address, and I was like, wow, where are they and how does this happen? So I did some digging, which was a little harder at the time, but I found you all, and I showed up. I remember trying the wrong door at first, and then
everybody does that,
and then finding the right door and walking in, and I think saw Leslie first, and she's like, who is this person? And then as soon as I said I found y'all through stream, everyone's like, you got to talk to Jamie. He's going to be so excited.
Oh, I was pumped. I was beyond myself. I was like, are you serious? We have a viewer that came here. That is so BA. It is so fantastic, and I absolutely love it. Well, you brought your parents here, and I thought that was really cool. And your mom geeked out, and I was like, please don't.
Yeah, they all watch, especially when I'm on commentary.
Right.
So they've heard Jamie a bunch. They're like, oh, the person that Erin talks to all the time.
I know.
So,
it's cool, though. I mean, what do you like? When I try to explain to people about this place, my thing is that we're all-inclusive.
Yes.
But what do you love about it?
Yeah, I mean, there is something really special about this place. It is hard to put into words. But I think, first of all, when I first came here, I was trying to be as open as possible, and everyone reciprocated.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of hobbies in the past that I've done that haven't been that way. I used to be really into Magic the Gathering. My gosh, not the case at all. That's why I ended up leaving. It was just, my husband was more in the competitive scene of it. I did not have that same receptiveness. Coming here, though, everyone wanted to talk to me. People wanted to help me learn the machines. Everyone was so encouraging.
Isn't that crazy?
It
is
really
weird
great.
That when I tell people that this is an inclusive, yes, okay, we have trolls, right?
Oh,
I mean, Pinside and all this stuff. Okay, we've got some people.
I'm a woman on social media. I deal with it. I get it.
I know. It drives me crazy when that troll hits you in the first learning to flip. I lost my mind. But
I deal with it all the time.
I know you were like so nice to us. You're like, look, I deal with this. Just you need to ignore, and we're fuming. But okay.
It was very funny to see that everyone else learning for the how to deal with that. Through that. So, but
I don't know how to deal with it.
You're still working on it. We're going to get you there. So, yeah.
I don't know how to deal with it. All right. Games have come in and come out here. What's your favorite that you would like to bring back here? Is there any game that has left that you went, oh, this is gone?
Well, what's funny? So right when I was first starting to play, I was so bad, right? And now I really want to see a lot of them again now that I'm still not incredible, but I can hold my own on a machine. So I was horrible at Class of 1812 when it was here, and now I'm like,
please don't ask for that to come back.
So I was like, I need to at least try it because I just learned how to play it, and then it got rotated out. So that's the one that popped into mind. But
so that's been here twice.
Yeah, okay.
And it's only the second time because Christine loves it. But when you're here by yourself,
right,
the call-outs
haunting.
It is haunting.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of games that I would love to get rid of that are like that, like Trailer.
Oh, yes, I know.
Oh, my
We were
Lord.
here for the Labyrinth trailer, the filming, which I don't know if we even talked about that exactly.
No, we're going to. I want to talk about it.
But, we timed. It was like every 9 minutes, it would sing some song or something. Yeah.
So I love the story. Anyway, thank you for being a part of the Wormhole.
No,
and
of course.
it's so important to us. And, yes, if you'd like to come to the Wormhole, we are up in 3 days. if you're in town one of those days,
Yeah.
hit me up. And if you're a nice person, maybe we'll open it up for you because I live a few minutes away. So.
No. And seriously, huge credit to Wormhole. They've been so welcoming, and I feel like it's huge credit to this community and these people. They make Houston pinball what it is.
I think there's like so many like. They would have been good cult members or cult leaders.
Yeah,
like
sure.
Tim would have been a really good cult leader because I'm like all in on pinball, and he's just like, and everyone is so nice. They're so nice. Hotel California.
I've brought my parents and my friends are here too, so it just continues to spread.
And we, we have this strict no jerk policy at this door, and that means a lot to us.
Yeah.
When you walk through this door, you leave your politics, you leave all that behind,
Yes.
and this is all inclusive, and there's no judgment here.
Yeah.
And we might joke around a little bit, but
sure.
we're not hurting feelings.
Yeah,
and I think that's very, very, very important that there's a safe place for anyone that wants to play pinball. And we get some crap that we're a little exclusive, and we get some crap. What are they playing back there?
I can't tell.
Oh, 007.
007? I was like, with the... Okay, yeah.
That's okay. So we're going to get dinged on the 007. Dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
That's going to kill us. Last question.
Yes.
I go off on tangents. I'm sorry. Let's talk about the Labyrinth video. How did that happen? Tell everyone how that happened.
Yeah, well, again, this one has to go back to, I guess it's learning to flip. The founder of Barrels of Fun combined with Wormhole is how it happened. So the founder of Barrels of Fun, David Van Ness, apparently was looking for someone to be in the trailer, and he was reaching out to Wormhole because the trailer was filmed here, and was like, hey, I've seen this girl on your social media channels. She does this Learning to Flip series. I love the stuff she does. Any chance she would be interested? So I get a text from John Spates, one of the other co-founders of Wormhole, and just was like, hey, are you available on Monday? I can't tell you why yet, but are you happen to be available? And I was like, yes. Can you sign an NDA? Okay, well, I'm intrigued. Yeah, of course I'll sign an NDA. And I found out, David Van Ness, the founder, called me and was like, hey, this is what it is. Do you want to know what the theme is? Do you want to be surprised? And I was like, yeah, I kind of know what I want to know what it was. So he told me on the phone, and I came out here for a full day.
Yeah.
And I got to play the machine for a few hours and be filmed, which I will say was a bit nerve-wracking to have for the first time you play a brand new pinball machine, have the founder of a company, the designer of the machine, watching you on camera the whole time and have it be recorded for the whole world. But you know what? It worked out, and I had a blast. I got into my own afterwards and, started playing it and really enjoyed it. And that, led to me now helping with Barrels of Fun social media. So
it's an absolutely beautiful video that they did.
Oh, seriously.
I've gotten to know Jared fairly well, and he was a DP. And the guy, the photographer, he is thinking about working with us, and because he was enamored with the joint, right?
Yeah, he stuck around and played some machines afterwards.
And so, what's so funny about that is we had it went long.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to go back and do some work at home. And so it went long, and we had a Monday stream coming in. I think it was a tournament or a Monday stream.
It was Fireball. Because if you look at the Fireball stream VOD, I'm wearing the same thing in the VOD as I am in the trailer.
Awesome.
And I had to, if you on stream, I was like, I just came back. I just decided to be here after a year. And I was like, well, I actually had a reason. I was here all day, and I was exhausted.
Well, we had Corey, who always gets here early to clean machines, and we had to figure out a way to get Corey to not know because he wasn't signed in, if you will, on the NDA list, and they really couldn't give any more NDAs. So we were like, gosh. So I remember going up to David and go, you've got 30 minutes.
Yeah. And then they had a huge setup in here, too. It wasn't we're just
Well, it was much better lighting than the Bone.
Yeah, it was good lighting.
It was good lighting.
Yeah.
While they spent, I don't know how much those lights cost, but it was lit.
Well,
it was unbelievable.
Yeah, and to be fair, the glass was also off, so there's no glare, which I also learned how loud pinball machines are when you play them when they're off.
Oh, my gosh.
The glass is off, so.
They're wicked loud.
Yeah.
Try being in here when the techs are here on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I go outside a lot.
But they snuck Corey around and they figured it all out. So
it was a fun day.
Yes.
I was here for most of it with you, but I wanted to leave. I also wanted to leave and not make you nervous.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there was enough people watching and all that already, but it is all good. It's one of those things where you're going to be nervous at first, and then, you figure it out and get in the
You've
zone,
got really good behind-the-scenes video and footage of that.
Yes, and I do have one more video that's going to post while I'm gone of that, because at the time, I was like, I'm posting too much about this. I don't want to feel like I'm just
Oh, no, spread it out. That's cool.
And
I can't wait to see it.
I have one more after the TWIPY forms are and voting is out. I have one more that I'm going to put out, which just coincidentally after TWIPing voting,
Wow, that's pretty cool. cool.
Yeah.
And then this podcast might be available for new podcast Twippy.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, there's a chance I'm in the running for a new, I think it's a YouTube creator or something like that.
Nice.
Because they don't have a general video creator, and I am on the Wormhole YouTube.
Oh, cool.
So I think that learning to flip might be on the list for Twippy.
Well, I hope
so we'll see.
It's so fantastic. It really is great, and I love the story of how you have your pinball journey itself, and I really wanted to do this interview. So thank you so much.
Of course, it was great.
You can see where are we going to be able to see you? Excuse me.
While I'm gone.
Yeah, while you're gone.
So if I'm going to be posting on my own social media accounts, which will be the at Erin Winick on any platform. The Joides Resolution social media accounts, which the handles are different on every platform, but if you search it, it's JOIDES Resolution. And so I'll be running those accounts while I'm out there.
So cool.
And then hopefully maybe we'll have some type of Twitch stream with Wormhole while
Oh,
I'm
we're going to do it. We've got too many people getting my bandwidth better, and so for us not to do it, we're going to do it.
Absolutely.
I mean, we just got to figure out. There's an incredible amount of pins that Tim owns and John owns, 165 plus. The water themes, though, are a little limited.
Yeah.
I mean, we have whitewater, and I can't, we don't have a
Ships,
China.
pirates, I don't know.
We don't have one. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I mean, Tim could pick one up.
I
Right?
know,
No.
sure, why not?
No, we'll figure it out. I think, what, Travis and Clint have Fathom or something.
Oh, they do have a Fathom. I wonder if they would let me
Baywatch,
bring it here. No, they won't.
We'll figure something out.
Oh, Baywatch could be funny. We'll figure it out. All right. Thank you so much, Erin. I really appreciate it. You will be able to download this on anywhere you can get podcasts. I've got it listed on every directory known to man. And you'll also be able to get it on video on demand on YouTube. This will post Tuesday evening. Erin, thank you so very much. What a pleasure.
Absolutely.
I loved it. Thank
Thanks
you so much.
Absolutely.